This is Sean here with Game On Cards. Today I wanted to jump on and talk about a new grading company that I've been following. I've been watching a 5-part series with Jeremy Lee in Sports Card Live. He's had a 5-part reveal essentially for a new company in the grading market called TAG. And they've been interviewing Steve Cass, the owner and CEO of TAG. Just some background on the company. They're based out of Southern California. They've been kind of doing the stuff behind the scenes for 10 years now with their multi-patented research and technology. They use a photometric and stereoscopic imaging. They also, actually looking at their labels, they actually look pretty nice. They're kind of have like a clear see-through label. The slab itself looks really clean. Has a kind of a smaller font, almost like an etching of the label. So it looks really sharp. I also wanted to add some of the notes, that I took during that series. And I advise anyone to check out the website, taggrading.com, just to kind of get your own take and feel for what's about to come out. I think they're going to launch here in the next month or so. I think they're going to start taking submissions in August, and then probably start the process and start their grading process in September. But it sounds like, based on what they're doing, is they're going to take in initially like a 60,000 requests over the first 3 months, 10,000 the first month, 20,000 the second month, and 30,000 the third month. So it's going to be I believe it's going to be like a queuing system. They have 4 service levels. So you can do, and these levels include the price of shipping and packing the materials, which I'll get into here in a minute. Their 4 service levels range anywhere between a 14-day turnaround and up to a 60 to 90-day turnaround. Looks like you buy these in packs of 10 each, so you can buy a 10-card submission, a 20-card submission, 30, 40, etc. And then with that, it just has to do with making sure that you send in your cards in those packs of 10 increments. So some of the positives I see here. They look to have the latest technology in grading. I advise you to check it out, the videos yourself. At the website, they've got their videos that were done through the Sports Card Live interviews. Their technology looks superior to anything I've seen so far with the image detection. They also have a 1,000-point grading scale, which is actually pretty cool because it's going to, not all 10s or all 9s are going to be the same. Essentially they round off to the 10-point grading scale, but they also use a 1,000-point. And what I mean by that is that not all grades are going to be created equal here. Even on like base cards, you've got base cards that are going to have a 976 versus a base card that'll have a 924, and so creates a uniqueness within every card, which I think is kind of neat. And you can also see all the different attributes on these 1,000-point scales, which will drive a premium, in my opinion. First grade premium as well. The first cards that are graded are going to with TAG are going to be a little bit extra incentive. They also have a customer dashboard with grade report, So this is kind of neat. They actually have a very unique setup for the user to where they can not only see all of the imperfections of their card, but detail different images, and it looks actually really neat. I definitely recommend checking that out as well. You also have some concerns that were addressed about, too much detail, maybe too much scrutiny, and having cards graded on a lesser, coming back as a lesser grade than maybe the competitors. But they discussed that in the videos and wanted to introduce a term that I'd never heard of, which is called NHOD, which is non-human observable defects. And within these defects, there's allowed a certain amount of imperfections that you cannot see by the human eye, and those are kind of disregarded, but they are provided. So a lot of detail here provided on the cards to the user, which is a great thing that really we haven't seen before in the grading industry. And then another thing that I thought was kind of neat was they give you these free subgrade kits, so for your submissions they'll actually send you out the package of whatever you purchase, to send you all the packaging materials and all the shipping to send the cards out, which is really cool. That's all part of the package pricing. There's also a digital security built into every slab, so it helps with the counterfeiting of slabs, which is a nice benefit there. Some of the negatives, I think, and this is going to have to be addressed with them at some point if they truly want to consider themselves, the premier grader in the industry, which is that there's no vintage. So they're starting off, and this was kind of addressed, and then it was kind of there was a little backtracking on the clarity of this, but doesn't sound like they're going to be doing any vintage anytime soon. So any cards from 2000 or newer is what their business model is going to be comprised of, and then as well, no relics, no autos. So essentially, your parallels and base, and then only 35 to 55 point in that range of card stock. So none of the thicker cards are going to be done here, at least in the initial rollout. So the conclusion with TAG, I think at this point, is that they're not going anywhere. This is a company that has a strong backing and a well-rounded group of experts in their field. They're also coming out with a lot of differentiators that'll really separate them from other companies, and they're not trying to be the one-stop shop at this point. They're really just trying to provide a service that is, there's a gap within the industry, within grading, and they're trying to address those. And ultimately, the hobby will decide, the fate of TAG based on, ultimately the secondary market and how that works out. From my personal experience, when I first saw TAG, my initial thought was, oh boy, another grading company using, artificial intelligence, and we've heard this before. But I wanted to give them an opportunity to speak their mind and tell us what they're about. And by the end of the series, I felt like this was something that I could try. I think that this might be something that for certain cards and a certain situations, I think it makes sense, and I definitely would consider trying them. I suggest that everybody out there, takes a look. If you're considering sending your cards into grading in the next few months, check out what TAG has to offer. And that's all I've got for today. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks, everyone.